Good morning, everyone who are watching this video. Today, I have decided to speak on respiratory system. In this, I will be talking on the introductory part of respiratory system. Means, what is respiratory system? What are the components of respiratory system? What is the role of respiratory system? Means, actually, what this respiratory system does. In this also, I will be talking about measurement of different volumes and capacities. And also, I will give you some introductory part on how to diagnose the patient suffering from respiratory system, respiratory related syndrome, that how we can diagnose. Now here, coming to the, you can see I have drawn the diagram. Here, this is the nasal cavities. Here it is the mouth. Now this is pharynx. This is larynx. Then trachea. Then bronchi, bronchioles. And obviously it is alveoli. That is the termination point of the respiratory system. Now here I have drawn a diagram of the blood vessels, and this blood vessel, this is the end, this is the artery. We can see here it is the artery, pulmonary artery is there. Here the blood is moving, and while going, this will take the oxygen and this will release the carbon dioxide. What I have said, मैंने फिर से रिपीट कर रहा हूं, मैं आज रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम के बारे में आपको बताना चाह रहा हूं. इसमें जस्ट एनाटॉमिकल पार्ट इफ वी टॉक अबाउट, इसमें नोजल कैविटीज इज देयर, नाक आप देख रहे हैं ना, नाक इज देयर. देन we have the pharynx. Behind the nasal cavity we have the pharynx, then we have larynx, and here we have mouth also. Means you can take the air through mouth also. Agar if there is any problem with your nose also, sometimes we take the we accept the air through mouth also. Means in respiratory system, both nasal cavities and mouth cavities both are involved. Then we have the pharynx, then larynx. Here we have epiglottis. As we all know, we have another is esophagus. So this esophagus, when we are taking the food, there is another cavity we have, that is esophagus. That is esophagus. That is the cavity. It is esophagus. So as you all know, while taking the food is going through this, and the air is going through this. So here we have the valve-like structure. It is called epiglottis. This will regulate such a way. This epiglottis will move such a way so that our air will go through the trachea, and ultimately what is the function of this system is to provide oxygen and to collect the carbon dioxide. So briefly, if we say what is the function of the respiratory system, so the respiratory system is involved in exchange of carbon dioxide and the oxygen. Means carbon dioxide हमारे बॉडी से निकल जाते हैं थ्रू एक्सपिरेशन, एंड इंस्पिरेशन हम जो है ऑक्सीजन उसको लेते हैं. तो इंस्पिरेशन, सो देयर इफ यू टॉक अबाउट respiration, it consists of inspiration and expiration. Inspiration, oxygen is taken up, oxygen enters into the blood, and this oxygen will go to the tissues ultimately. What is the function of this oxygen? This will go to the tissues, go to the tissues. टिश्यू से जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड निकालते हैं वो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जो है ये कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एक्सपिरेशन के थ्रू निकल जाता है, बॉडी से निकल जाता है. सो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज गोइंग आउट फ्रॉम द बॉडी, दैट इज वी कॉल इट एक्सपिरेशन. और इंस्पिरेशन जो है ऑक्सीजन वी आर टेकिंग, बिकॉज एज यू ऑल नो हमारे बॉडी जो है, जो सेल है, वो सेल को ऑक्सीजन की जरूरत पड़ती है. उस ऑक्सीजन जो है, दिस इज द सिस्टम इन्वॉल्व हियर, and this system, actually function of the system is to take the oxygen and to release carbon dioxide. Now coming to the inspiration, if we talk about, already I have told you the inspiration and I have told you the expiration. What is the mechanism of inspiration and what is the mechanism of expiration? So there are certain muscles. If we draw the diagram here, this is the diaphragm. We have the diaphragm, and we have the ribs. So this inspiration is there because this ribs are moved forward and the diaphragm is going up. So there are two movements we can see. दो मेन जो मूवमेंट होती है वो है रिब्स जो है इज मूव्ड फॉरवर्ड एंड द डायफ्राम इज गोइंग अप, एंड दिस इज डन by an involvement of group of muscles. What are the muscles involved in inspiration? It is external intercostal muscle, then internal intercostal muscle, and the muscles present in the diaphragm, and also there are few muscles, rectus abdominis, and the another is abdominal oblique. So I have mentioned here, listen carefully. मैं आपको रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, कोशिश नहीं मैं रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ कि आप थोड़ा सा सुनने के लिए कोशिश कीजिए. मैंने कहा इंस्पिरेशन जब होती है, जब हम सांस लेते हैं तब रिब सामने जाते हैं, मतलब देयर इज ए मूवमेंट, फॉरवर्ड मूवमेंट ऑफ द रिब्स, एंड डायफ्राम जो है इट गोज अप. सो दिस टाइप ऑफ सिचुएशन हैज टू बी देयर, देन ओनली air will come in. There is a negative pressure is created here. और बाहर का जो है प्रेशर ज्यादा होती है, तो इसीलिए एयर जो है आराम से अंदर आ जाता है. दिस नेगेटिव प्रेशर तभी क्रिएट होगी इफ रिब इज मूव फॉरवर्ड एंड द डायफ्राम इज गोइंग अप. इन दिस केस what is happening, there are involvement of 5 different type of muscles I have mentioned. One is external intercostal muscle, internal intercostal muscle, then diaphragm, then rectus abdominis and abdominal oblique. Now all these muscles, they are acted such a way, means there we can see contraction as well as relaxation. The group of muscles are contracted and group of muscles are getting relaxed, resulting ribs are moved forward and diaphragm is going up. That is why there is a नेगेटिव प्रेशर, एंड नेगेटिव प्रेशर हैज टू बी देयर. अगर नेगेटिव नहीं होती है तो एयर जो है बाहर, एयर जो है अंदर नहीं आएगा. तो ये नेगेटिव प्रेशर हमें क्रिएट करना है, और उस क्रिएट करने के पीछे हमारा जो रिब है दिस हैज टू बी मूव फॉरवर्ड एंड द डायफ्राम हैज टू गो अप. नाउ कमिंग टू द I have already mentioned here कि there are group of muscles getting contracted and relaxed. So here there is a contraction of external intercostal muscles. and the relaxation of internal intercostal muscles. So I have mentioned two main muscles here. One is external intercostal muscles, another is internal intercostal muscles. So if I have already told you, इंस्पिरेशन में होता क्या है, रिब्स जो है ये आगे जाता है, मूवमेंट, फॉरवर्ड मूवमेंट ऑफ द रिब्स, एंड द डायफ्राम इज गोइंग अप. So here, and this movement is there because of the contraction of external intercostal muscle and relaxation of internal intercostal muscles, and there is a contraction of the muscles present in the diaphragm. So due to this, diaphragm is going up and the ribs is moved forward. That is the inspiration, and this inspiration is there, and the negative pressure is being created, air is coming in. That is the muscular involvement ड्यूरिंग इंस्पिरेशन. एक्सपिरेशन में क्या होता है, जस्ट ऑपोजिट. मैंने यहाँ पे इंस्पिरेशन में कॉन्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ एक्सटर्नल इंटरकोस्टल मसल बताया. अभी एक्सपिरेशन में होता क्या है, रिलैक्सेशन ऑफ एक्सटर्नल इंटरकोस्टल मसल्स, रिलैक्सेशन ऑफ इंटरनल इंटरकोस्टल एक्सटर्नल इंटरकोस्टल मसल, रिलैक्सेशन ऑफ एक्सटर्नल इंटरकोस्टल मसल एंड द कॉन्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ इंटरनल इंटरकोस्टल मसल. तो थोड़ा सा ध्यान दीजिएगा, मैं क्या कह रहा हूं. मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि मैंने इंस्पिरेशन में कहा कॉन्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ एक्सटर्नल इंटरकोस्टल मसल, लेकिन अभी मैं कह रहा हूं रिलैक्सेशन ऑफ एक्सटर्नल इंटरकोस्टल मसल एंड द कॉन्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ इंटरनल इंटरकोस्टल मसल्स. एंड इन इंस्पिरेशन मैंने कहा कॉन्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ द मसल्स प्रेजेंट इन द डायफ्राम. डायफ्राम जो है गेटिंग कॉन्ट्रैक्टेड ड्यूरिंग इंस्पिरेशन, बट एक्सपिरेशन में देयर इज ए रिलैक्सेशन ऑफ द डायफ्राम. दैट इज व्हाई एक्सपिरेशन में क्या होता है, दिस डायफ्राम इज गोइंग डाउन और रिब्स जो है मूव बैक. And this movement, expiration, again I am talking about expiration, that is a relaxation of external intercostal muscle and the contraction of internal intercostal muscle and the relaxation of the muscles present in the diaphragm. Also there are another group of muscles, also I have mentioned rectus abdominis and the abdominal oblique. All these muscles are behaved such a way, there is a contraction, relaxation, contraction, relaxation. Due to that, ribs is going forward, backward, forward, backward. Forward movement is there during inspiration. Expiration, backward movement is there. And the diaphragm is going up during inspiration, coming down is expiration. So this movement is done due to an involvement of group of muscles, and these muscles are controlled by the neurons. So what are the neurons? From where they are coming? They are coming from the they are controlled by the phrenic nerve. ये जो एक्सटर्नल इंटरकोस्टल मसल आप देख रहे हैं, एक्सटर्नल इंटरकोस्टल मसल आप देख रहे हैं, here this is the spinal cord. We have the phrenic nerve coming from C3, C4 and C5, phrenic nerve, and controlling the muscles. Which muscles? External intercostal muscles, internal intercostal muscles, and all these muscles are controlled by the phrenic nerve. Another neuron is also involved, that is intercostal nerve. Intercostal nerve. There is another nerve also involved, that is intercostal nerve. Intercostal nerve. So this nerve actually present in T1 to T11. This intercostal nerve present in the T1 to T11. So this intercostal nerve also controlling the activity of the muscles. There is a contraction and relaxation, and this contraction and relaxation, due to this contraction and relaxation, again I am telling, ribs are going moved forward and the diaphragm is going up, and again ribs is coming backward movement of the ribs during expiration and the downward movement of the diaphragm. So all type of activities means actually is doing during, already मैंने आपको बताया कि यहाँ पे नेगेटिव प्रेशर होती है, इसीलिए हवा अंदर आ जाता है. फिर एक्सपिरेशन कैसे होती है, यहाँ पे जो प्रेशर है, यहाँ का जो प्रेशर है, ये प्रेशर बढ़ जाता है एज कम्पेयर टू द एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर, इसीलिए एक्सपिरेशन में हवा जो है बाहर चला जाता है. inspiration and expiration. And this is the mechanics of respiration. I am talking about mechanics of respiration and the muscles involved. What are the muscles involved in expiration? What are the muscles involved in inspiration? Which nerve is controlling the contraction and relaxation of the muscles? That also I have mentioned. Phrenic nerve coming from C3, C4 and C5, and the intercostal nerve present in the T1, in between T1 to T11. In this, all these nerves, they are controlling the muscle such a way so that there is a continuous inspiration and expiration we can see. This is a short story about mechanics of respiration. I will tell you about how to record different volumes and capacities. Pulmonary volumes, if we talk about, what are the volumes? What are the volumes? One is tidal volume, another is inspiratory, another is expiratory reserve volume. Third is third is Third is tidal volume, in expiratory reserve volume, inspiratory reserve volume, and fourth is residual volume. So these are the four volumes. And capacities. Capacities also we can record. That is vital capacity, then inspiratory capacity, then functional residual capacity, and fourth is total lung capacity. So these are the capacities we can measure. These are the volumes we can measure. If we can measure also with the help of simple experiment instrument, spirometer. आपने सुने होंगे आजकल तो स्पायरोमीटर जो है आपको पीसी बेस्ड मिलेगा, लेकिन मान लीजिए आपके पास पीसी बेस्ड नहीं है, लैब में जनरली जो प्रैक्टिकल में जो हम देते हैं वो है स्पायरोमीटर, simple spirometer, compound spirometer. Which is simple, which is compound, that also I will tell you. Again, compound spirometer से क्या क्या पैरामीटर मेजर किया जाता है? These are the volumes, capacities, few volumes and capacities we can measure. Also we can measure MVV, maximum ventilatory volume. ये अगर हम मेजर कर सकते हैं तो if we can measure MVV, we can talk about dyspneic index. DI, whether person is suffering from dyspnea, means problem with the respiration or not, that also we can find out by recording, by analyzing dyspneic index, DI. Formula of DI is MVV. What is the formula of DI? It is MVV minus RMV divided by MVV into 100. This will come in percent. So if we can record MBBS, I'll tell you how to record MBBS. That also I will tell you. So please keep watching my videos. Thank you.